All righty. I think we've got a few still joining. Morning, everybody. Morning. Hi, Alicia. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
How you doing? You good?
Okay. I am. Yourself?
Excellent. Yeah, very well. Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Cool. So morning, we've just got two people joining us so far. I'm sure we'll get a few more coming in. So to those of you with your camera off so far, please, if you wouldn't mind turning it on. Doesn't matter if you're in your PJs or at home. My name is Johnny. I'm part of the AAVEA board. Morning. And with me today, obviously the lovely ladies from the rest of the board. We've got Sabina, Alicia, and Fazila. They're going to help us out just with some stories from how their openings have gone. I think this is our fourth live chat now. Should have been a bit more, but it's been a busy couple of weeks. We hope to share a couple of ideas and get some learnings from you guys as to how the opening has gone, find out what level 1 has changed, and just have a quick conversation how everybody is. Let me just let another one in. Let's kick off. Before we go through any major introductions, I thought we'd do a quick poll, if you guys could answer for me. It is on your screens now, I think. Has the recent move to level 1 made any impact on your visitation? So just click what you think. Has it improved it? Has it not improved it? Are you still closed? I'm not sure we will survive. If it were me, I would probably be in the no section, but it hasn't made too much of a difference. So anybody else still need a vote? We've got a yes, a no, and I'm not sure we will survive. So I'm gonna just wait. Maybe Roxanne is just joining us. Maybe she wants to have a quick vote. Let's just see if she can join us. Roxanne, I don't know if you can hear us. We just got a poll up on the screen there. If you want to vote quick before I close that, just to get an idea. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let me close that poll. So I don't know. Let's see if we can share those results quickly. Just out of interest, we got 22 people say yes, 3 people say no, 1 is still closed, and I'm not sure I'll survive. So, geez, some tough answers there. And I think that's what we want to sort of talk about a little bit this morning. If there's anything we're doing wrong or anything that we've changed that could improve. Hi, Roxanne. Morning. Good morning. Welcome. So the idea is this morning just to quickly go through what AAVEA has been up to. We've got our wonderful Chief Sabina here with us. She'll give us a quick update, and then move across to the wonderful Alicia over at the aquarium to give us an idea of what they've learned from opening up post-lockdown. I think it's 6 weeks now? Some of us have been longer, some shorter. Welcome everybody. Sabina, over to you. Well, when you get back.
I was just going to close the door because the dogs are
barking.
Okay,
cool. No, go for it. Go for it. No problem. So again, just introduction. My name is Johnny. I work at a company called Happy Snappy. I'm sure I've bugged all of you at some stage in the past about doing business together or trying to take some photos at your attraction. Fire across any questions in the comment bar there, and then also you can send us a mail. We can try and answer those. Over to you, Sabina.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Nice to see some familiar names and faces. And some first names and faces. Fawaz, lovely to, well, see your name in print there. I don't see your face. Roxanne, I know this might be your last time with us, which I'm really sorry to hear about, from the Zuid-Smoker. Buntu, tell us where you're from. I can't, what aspect of the industry are you in?
Hi, good morning. My name is Ubuntu Matole. I'm from ABCD Concepts. Basically, ABCD Concept is a lifestyle marketing and tourism business based in the township space in Khayelitsha.
Yes, I remember you now. I think, did you attend our conference last year?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and were you able to attend this year? It was digital, so without seeing the faces, I kind of can't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did attend.
Okay, and that's it for you, Fawaz? I actually haven't seen your face for a long time. I feel like I hardly recognize you. How are you? Nice to see you. Oh, sound is a bit funny. So for those who don't know, Fawaz is with the Zuid-Smoker. And then I see in Ayanda, it's name only. I can't see your face or where you're from. Ayanda, give us a clue if you can. Fatima is with Cape Point. Ingrid Sinclair is with Two Oceans Aquarium, and so is Alicia and Fazila's Table Mountain. Ayanda, are you there?
Hi everyone. No, I'm here. I switched off my video because I'm doing something on the side.
No, we get that. Don't worry. That's the pleasure of working from home. Ayanda, just remind us where you're from.
I'm Buntu's business partner, basically, also from ABC.
ABCD, yeah, cool, got it. Okay.
I remember we met Sabrina when Airbnb was doing something in Langa once upon a time.
Yes. That's about 4 years ago. You and I had a great chat, the two of us, at that long table in a restaurant in Long Street in town afterwards. Right? No? Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, let's just introduce what AAVEA has been up to. So a lot of what I do on behalf of the African Association of Visitor Experiences and Attractions is really follow key trends overseas because there's a lot that we can learn from them. And they, of course, have had their summer. We're just starting from our summer. And I always think there's a lot we can learn from them because they're kind of rolling ahead of the game. They're, of course, now going into winter, and I'm sure you're following the news where you see that a lot of them are having to close down again, which doesn't bode well for us, and it certainly doesn't bode well for tourists getting on a plane and getting to Cape Town. So that's very difficult. I can say that internationally, and we've spoken about this before, but there's really two major things. One is that attractions that have opened have seen about between 30 and 50% capacity. So first of all, their capacity is reduced because of coronavirus, and then the take-up isn't as high as they had expected. Outdoor attractions, gardens, botanical gardens, outdoor play areas do much better than indoor play areas. But in general, the take-up is about between 30 and 50% of previous take-up. And we're talking about the Tate Modern, the V&A Museum, large museums in Europe, big brand names. So I caution all visitor attractions to manage their expectations very, very carefully, because this is a common theme throughout. Yeah, so that's the one thing. And the other thing is managing your visitors in the sense that because you've got your long queue spacing, and I know, Alicia, you might be able to speak about this later, you know, with your 1.5 meters per visitor and COVID can, for want of a better word, the queues look longer than they actually are, which deters people from visiting. And equally, whilst most people seem to be very willing and able to participate in the new corona rules on site, there is a small percentage that don't, and that your staff need to know in advance how they're going to handle that, because it becomes a very fractious and difficult situation. And those people who are often not adhering to masks, not adhering to COVID rules, are often doing so because of some internal political ideology. We don't have to judge that. So they have this funny need to be quite adamant about why they're not doing it. And that poses a problem for your staff. I wanted to show you, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on my cell phone, but I thought it was quite interesting. Berlin has, this is, believe it or not, the official tourism poster. They're saying they're welcoming tourists back, but you have to wear a mask. Can you see? It's an old lady giving the finger. I mean, this is the official tourism bureau. And it says, we lift the middle finger for anybody who doesn't wear a mask. I mean, that is government sanctioned official poster from the equivalent of Cape Town tourism. Look, they're quite clever because they're playing on the Berliners are known as the Germans who are otherwise alternative, a little bit like the New Yorker who's always got a little bit of lip. So their campaigns have long played on that game, but I thought this was quite another leap. But what it does mean when international tourists do come eventually to visit us is that they will be very used to these measures and don't feel nervous or ashamed to push them. And the last thing I want to say before I'll hand back to Johnny is that I want you to be very cautious about international visitors coming back, because although we talk about when will borders open for our source markets, and this is my personal opinion now, not AAVEA's opinion, but my opinion as Sabina Lehman and Curiositas, I think it's relatively insignificant visitor numbers this season. And by that I mean, whether it's 10% or 50%, you know, we need 70% back to make things work again, minimum, maybe 80%. It is not going to be that. So whilst of course we want to push borders to open, I really worry that some of our attractions and some of our tourism industry are overly optimistic about exactly what that would mean. Even if we open borders tomorrow, France is back in lockdown, Germany's back in lockdown. You know, it's not necessarily going to have this huge impact that we're hoping this season. So again, my advice is to be cautious, tread lightly, wherever you can, cut hard costs, and it's a chance to build that domestic economy, which of course, domestic market, which of course is something that we've all been wanting to do for years anyway. So that's me, Johnny. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Sabina. That's such wise words. I must admit, I got caught in the trap of being between optimism and realism. When we first opened, I thought, you know, everybody's got to be optimistic, and I was dangerously optimistic. And I think that's a horrible journey to have gone through over the last couple of weeks, to realize that, you know, those early reports of international travel really only opening up in February was actually probably quite accurate. And we can't rely on especially here in the Cape, we can't rely on all the international travelers to carry us through season. And now with that mindset change, you know, sitting down and planning how we can attract more locals or get more locals to buy. Yeah, interesting points you make though. I think the Europeans are a good measuring stick for us, and we shouldn't ignore their learnings. But yeah, I think there's still lots to give locally in South Africa. So hopefully, I think I listened to the president's speech yesterday. He encouraged South Africans to travel and explore their own country now that we can't leave. So hopefully people will do so in December, and we can scratch together a really good season. Yeah, fingers crossed. So Alicia, I'm going to ask you to step in and give us some of your learnings. I know the aquarium has had some challenges with long queues, but being someone that's visited there regularly, I think your team's done an incredible job. So hats off to you and the team behind the scenes. I can only imagine how stressful. Maybe give us some of your stories. How was it gearing up for this, getting ready, and what's brought you to tears?
It's been a proverbial roller coaster. We've had some incredible highs, and those were euphoric, and then the lows were almost gut-wrenching. So the aquarium geared itself to open to our annual members first for the last 4 days of August, which was really an amazing experience. We extended all our annual members their expiry dates to compensate for the time that they lost on their annual tickets. And it was a really nice opportunity to put our measures into practice and test it out with what we know is a controlled visit. They know the building off by heart. So it was really incredible spending 4 exclusive days with our annual members only. They were extremely appreciative of the extension of their expiry date. They gave us incredible feedback. It was really, I valued those 4 days immensely. They've noticed the maintenance we've done. They realized that a wall was painted. And it really just gave Ingrid and me that affirmation of how well they know this product, which was incredible. Then we went into September. And I don't want to say all hell broke loose, but all hell broke loose.
We are my friends here, so we can tell the truth. That's the value of this forum.
We honored lockdown birthdays in line with our free birthday visit. Now, to put this into context, the 1st of September, we had 27 free birthday tickets come through. By the end of the month, we had 1,400 a day. Word of mouth, people, is alive as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we saw visitor numbers that we honestly didn't anticipate. And Ingrid is welcome to jump in at any point here. We, for the first time, I can only describe it as season with a pricing challenge with a virus mixed into it. Nuclear families, I know the government deleted the term nuclear families from one of our last gazetted guidelines, but guys, we were literally dealing with nuclear families from 2 to 20. You try and tell a family of 20 members to social distance from each other. It's just not going to happen. So to Sabine's point, that perception from visitors that were approaching the aquarium, seeing queues that I think matched the best Decembers we've ever seen, getting people to understand the birthday special, that's something that I completely underestimated, is the amount of time it would take to explain the rules, queue here, this is how we're honoring it, it's 1 ticket per person. So for the first time in my professional career at the aquarium, we pulled staff off the floor to come and help with queue management. Usually queues can queue, we clap them, we have a ticket office that pride themselves on getting through a queue as quickly as possible. But now, because you're protecting that COVID protocol inside the building, we're limiting it to 400 people. You now have birthday queues, you have ticketing queues, you have members waiting to come in, you have online tickets coming in. So we had a mob of staff, and I must commend our team. We had aquarists coming out. We had 3 senior managers standing in the queue. Wind, rain, sun, and you were posted outside for 7 to 8 hours a day, just dealing with what was happening outside. So September was really, it was incredible. We spoke to so many people. Staff started losing their voices at the end of the day because they were literally repeating themselves. It was incredible, but I think we are sitting as attractions, we're sitting with an unanswered solution to our local market. And I think we need to pull together because these people are desperate to get out. They want to visit. And I think a free birthday special opened our eyes. It's like there is a lot of people out there that are desperate to get out. Some are concerned with the virus. They tell you if they think your rules aren't tight enough, and others are over it. So there's your staff, your communication. Sabine said it very early on in May when we were planning. She said, guys, you're going to have to hold on to your plans lightly. And it's absolutely true. So it's been an incredible journey, but we are very fortunate that we are open. It's amazing to have people in the building again, to see kids happy again, that membership card that gets ripped out, and the kids knowing that they scan it here and they're free to run inside. It's really been, we're very fortunate that we're operating again.
Fantastic. I think there were a couple of pictures I saw of the queues that was going past city sightseeing, past almost at the one and only. So massive respect to handle those queues, especially as you say, you have to engage with each person and explain things. And, must have been tough.
I ran over to Klaus on the one Saturday. Christine and everyone was standing outside the kiosk, and I said to them, don't you guys want to launch a birthday special quickly so that we can share this queue with you? And they were like, no, thanks.
That actually, it leads me to my next question that Ingrid actually answered pretty much in the comment section. Is I think, I don't want to go too deep into this, but as a brand, as an attraction, and all the effort that goes into it, do you feel that the birthday special was something that you do again? Do you value it? Do the exco sit there and say, hey, you didn't make us enough money? How does that, again, Table Mountain, I think, had a similar one. And it's easy to sit back and go, geez, we had 50% of our visitors were free. How do we pay salaries? Do you think it's great for the brand, or would you do it again, basically, is my question.
What I found was that I think there was a perception that it was a once-off. That people thought, oh, this is the aquarium compensating for lockdown. So it was a big eye opener for us to realize that people didn't quite appreciate that this is a promotion that runs all year round. So that was, and like I said, having that opportunity to stand outside and communicate with your visitor is, guys, it's so important. So it was really nice to say, okay, this is how we're honoring this batch, but remember that next year you can come back. So it was like an aha moment for some visitors. And I really think it'll serve us well, very well into the future.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And getting more people out there is essentially what you want to do, is get as many people in as you can. And Ingrid, you had a quick note to add there. I see your hands up.
The first thing I just wanted to say, as a marketer, there's no better marketing than a queue, right? We know this. So really the challenge is to ensure that that experience remains high value. And that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, I just thought through that month, okay, it's a little bit crazy outside, but the moment people step into the aquarium, because we are so strict with what we allow inside, it's actually an incredibly high value experience. You're not crowded, you're not being pushed by people. You have the aquarium, you know, almost to yourself. So, and there's so much space. So I think that was really, really a saving grace as well. That while outside was what it was because we were managing it so well inside. I think if we had started pushing numbers inside to get rid of the queue, we would have been in big trouble. So yeah,
it's a very interesting point. That rather keep the experience. And I think again, Sabina probably pointed to that early in the year, is keep it as high value as possible. You know, it doesn't, you know, just because there's a pandemic doesn't mean we decrease the value of the experience. Fascinating. Does anybody else have a question for the aquarium? Maybe to fire at the ladies, see how they handle things. No? Sabina, anything from your side?
I think my question would be, you are one of the attractions in Cape Town that has a very good mix of international versus local. I don't know, I'm guessing here probably 50-50, 60-40. And it's a little bit sad to me that on this live chat now, we don't have attractions from our country who are actually 90 or 95 or 99% domestic. I'm still thinking Gold Reef City, Ushaka Marine World,
zoos probably.
Zoo. Because I think, and I need to contact them, because in a way it's time for their star to shine. Often Cape Town overshines. We have these iconic experiences. People assume that because you get internationals that you're somehow more lofty. But for once, we can learn from domestic-based attractions. And I think I'm going to have to call them and say, next time I want you guys online here, what can we learn from you? So I think maybe Ingrid, is there something that if you were a 100% domestic focused business only, if you were in Joburg, like Joburg Zoo, I mean, I'm putting you on the spot here, what would you be doing differently, if anything?
I remember engaging with Louise Gordon for the conference earlier this year, and I was just astounded at how busy they are with eventing. So this is now, apart from corporate functions, which is sort of a different revenue stream.
So for the sake of others, Louise Gordon's from Joburg Zoo. Yeah.
So they just have a calendar that is absolutely packed with anything you can imagine, from music to fun runs to play dates to sleepovers to market mornings. Obviously a very different space, but you know, I think that really keeps people interested as well. If they can come and scratch an itch at your facility that's maybe not purely associated with what you do, you can continue to drive interest and uptake that way. So I think I'm a big events lover. They take a lot of work, but it's a great way to get people interested in your building rather than just the stock standard experience. So I think that's what I would probably focus on. And in fact, Alicia's team on the functions side has already started dinners, you know, different kinds of ways that people can experience the aquarium and bring in slightly better premium as well on the entry price.
Very cool.
So I think I would agree, because the thing with an international tourist is they're here for a short period of time. So they've got their own time pressure that they're adding to tick things off. A domestic visitor, like me, I've got things to do this weekend. So to pull me into the Norval or into the Mocha or into the aquarium, you know, it means I'm giving up the bike ride that I was planning to do, the swim and Sea Point, whatever, the lunch with my parents. So you are fighting a lot more. People think you're fighting a lot more competition when you're dealing with tourists, but you're actually fighting much more competition when you're dealing with domestics. And I'm not sure people have clocked that because you're giving up something on the weekend to do this other thing. Very interesting. Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting what we learn going forward.
fascinating points, I think, with that. And you have to excuse me, the Zeitz, is it open at the moment? You guys are open or not? Maybe Roxanne, do you want to?
Hi.
Hi,
Hi everyone. Morning. We are not open as yet, but we do open next Thursday, the 22nd.
Wow. Okay, that's very exciting.
Yes, very exciting. We open with a soft launch. So.
Whoops, you've gone on to mute there.
Sorry, can you hear me? Sorry, I lost you there.
Got you back.
So we will be monitoring it. We'll be opening for a soft launch. So it's from Thursday to Sunday, so only 4 days a week. And it's very exciting because we'll be opening up to our new Cape Town exhibition. So we invited thousands of artists to put their art in the museum. So we're very excited to welcome our domestic visitors back to the museum.
So at our next chat, you're going to be giving us a little bit of advice, I hope, after opening.
Yes, good idea.
No, brilliant. Well, good luck for that launch. I know it must be, I'm sure, a lot of pressure, but I'm sure you'll nail it.
We're ready. Yeah.
Fantastic. Alrighty. From my side, I mean, we're almost at 10:30. I wanted to see if I could run another quick poll, unless anybody else has got any questions so far. Any notes? Let me just get this next one open here. It kind of leans to what we're saying about specials. So I wanted to know from you guys, how optimistic are you that you will have a good season? Good is interpreted very loosely. I mean, just up to you how you feel what good means. Okay, 50%. I think we, as a company that works with attractions, we're expecting, also about between 40 and 60%, but difficult to call. So if I can just share those, pretty much everyone has said we're happy with 50% of last year, which is doesn't help my eternal optimist inside, but I think it's the realist that takes over. So really, really interesting results there, and I hope, I hope we all do have a fantastic season of what we can actually muster from 50% visitation. I must just say that the guys in Gauteng, I think we're lucky enough to work with both zoos. Interestingly enough, the last 2 weeks of September, we actually broke records, meaning we beat last year from a visitation and a revenue point of view. I know I shouldn't really give away all the secrets, but I don't want to speak too much on their behalf, but really interesting to see how their dependency on locals and how their sort of outdoor campaigns have worked so well. They've just had thousands and thousands of people visiting. And even in the midweeks now, we're still getting a lot of people coming through. So, I wonder, Sabina, I think we should get them online and ask them what their secret muti is, because it seems to be working.
I think we need to specifically actually ask them, because I find these conversations so useful. The other thing I was thinking, and also Fazila, I wouldn't mind hearing from TMAC just how things are going there. I was thinking, guys, and here I need your opinion in terms of, we've had the stagger school holidays campaign where we've said we need to have, upcountry and domestic school holidays staggered so that we have a longer season. And this is, in fact, the UNWTO has indicated that this is the biggest tool countries have for getting domestic tourism during COVID times. So I must actually write an article about it. But what I think is very interesting is that we've had a little experiment here, because we've had private school holidays in September and state school holidays now in October. Now, I know that's not quite staggering, but it's more than we've ever had. So perhaps in November, we do a quick poll and understanding from our attractions to say, here's a mini example of what it could look like and what did it feel like for you, because that will give us proof that this thing is very valuable. What are your thoughts around this, Fazila?
Yeah, I definitely think there's value in that. In general, I mean, September saw us having over 31,000 visitors, but again, like the aquarium, that is down to the birthday special. And I do think it's going to be interesting to see where the school holidays lie. Did I freeze? So there's definitely value in that.
Great, thanks for that. I think it is, I think definitely, I don't know when the October school holidays are, the state ones. They're in the next week, aren't they?
They close on the 23rd of October and they go back. It's like that short little September holiday that's now moved. So it's going to be very interesting to see.
Hopefully a nice little bump for everyone. And maybe a perfect time for the sites to be opening up right around that school holidays time. Cool. Well, everyone, I think that's my time. Thank you very much for joining with us. And I think a really cool, open, honest conversation. I think we just got to get a few more people into it. And yeah, Alicia, thanks for sharing. Also, yeah, everybody, thanks for sharing. And Sabina, thanks for being here. I hope you all have a great week and a really busy weekend. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah,
all right,
spread
guys.
word to other members and non-members, because this is the only way we're going to get valuable information. Johnny, thanks for hosting. You're always great.
Oh, thank you.
Roxanne
really
is actually leaving Cape Town and leaving the Mocha. She's going back to her family in Knysna. Are you going to be working in the attractions industry there or not?
I will be in the hotel industry.
Okay, so still service front of house, which is where you belong.
Yes.
You're brilliant.
Thank you so much. It's been such an incredible journey with AAVEA. Thank you, Sabine, and everyone. It's been amazing.
Yeah, good luck.
Bye, Ubuntu.
All
Bye.
the best.